And finally, I'm just wondering if you could provide some thoughts on uh, just hiring people with disabilities in general and the importance of that, and where you hope Ready, Willing, and Able may be in the next 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely. So I think I'll answer the second kind of part to your question first. But when we think about where we'll be in the future, I think that there is a big hope that Ready, Willing, and Able will not have to exist. I think we have a big hope that we'll be able to support employers in not only just realizing the business benefits of hiring inclusively, but also support employers to equip them with confidence and equip them with skills in order to realize unintentional barriers that exist within their hiring process, and also to be aware of how to create a more how to create actually work to create a more inclusive and diverse team. So I think really when I look towards the next 5 to 10 years, I hope that we don't exist. I think we've been saying that for the duration. I've been in the project for 4 years now, and been saying it for the duration of it that we'd like to put ourselves out of jobs. Yeah, and really, what I would say to employers too, the benefit of hiring inclusively and working together, it it really there are just so many benefits, and it really is. It really is something that enriches all different aspects of a business. And we'd love to connect. We'd love to support you in realizing all of that. I don't know if.
Oh, what a great question. It to me, it ties back into the technology, your question about technology and the impact it has had. And technology is not is not the solution to everything, but it has enabled companies to keep their businesses going and to keep their workforces productive. And the great thing about technology is it woke businesses up to the fact that they can still get a lot of work done, and in fact, have a workforce that's more productive, that's more engaged through the use of technology. And so even though they were kind of forced into this pivot of allowing remote work and allowing flexible work and allowing people to, maybe take more breaks in the middle of the day to attend to their children or to attend to, medical appointments, knowing they were going to get their work done at some point during the day. What that awakening did for employers, I think they are also becoming much more aware that differently abled people can make a very positive, very strong contribution, especially because technology has enabled their current workforce, whether they're fully able, disabled, remote, etc., to contribute in ways that fit in with their lifestyle best. So I think this pandemic, which forced a pivot to alternate ways of working, is also forcing a much greater awareness, acceptance, and empowerment from the employer side to employees and prospective employees who may look different, may think differently, may bring different skills to the table, may have different ways of getting from point A to point B, but are enabled through technology and through other ways of working more than ever before. So I'm encouraged by, again, I'm an eternal optimist. So I'm encouraged by what the global pandemic has managed to achieve in kind of shaking the dust and the antiquated ways of getting work done and looking at employees, off a lot of these companies. So I'm encouraged about the future, especially for employees of all abilities.
Dylan, when we look at employment inclusion and equality and equity, I'm wondering your thoughts on the matter, because I always tell people that inclusion is the gateway to independence. So I'll get this to start off by telling me your thoughts on that very sentiment.
Well, we're celebrating next month, October, National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And, you know, it's the 75th anniversary of that. You know, for me personally, I'm a person with that is deaf in the right ear and partially deaf with a hearing aid in the left ear. I actually have my hearing aid here, but and I have spinal back and neck fusions, so disabilities. But people have variety of disabilities, and you know, for me, in different employment settings, you know, I used to work at for example, in a noisy environment in a sporting facility, fitness facility, and they would put me in the front. But what was great about that position was people got to see a person like me with hearing difficulties and physical disabilities, where I had to move 360 angle. And while hearing people in a noisy environment, while greeting them, handling with their membership stuff, but I was still able to manage that on an 8-hour shift. So think about that. The idea of inclusion in this, to your question, is really about giving people with disabilities the opportunities to independence. People with disabilities, as they age, no matter what age, they have a wide range of abilities. For my ability, I'm able to block out sounds around me, and I'm able to still implement certain skills and still able to interact with my members when I was working at Lifetime Fitness. But other people, they have passions and desires to work in sports. You know, some like to be sport attendants. Some like to be executives for different organizations. That's some office clerks, or some like be working in, you know, data analytics. They actually like numbers. Some actually like to build apps, you know, those with autism. So the idea is that employment is, you know, you say inclusion, yes, people with disabilities want to be included in settings where they are given opportunities that they would otherwise not be given opportunities to. And employment is one of those key aspects. But I also believe employment leads to other opportunities. It gives them housing, you know, access to housing, gives them access to other services they may not otherwise get. Hopefully that is.
Absolutely. So when you look at some of the statistics in Canada, for example, people with disabilities make up around 22% of the population, and that percentage increases as people age. The disability population as a consumer group represents $55 billion worth of annual spending in Canada alone. And so when you think about employment, for example, or economic participation, employing more people with disabilities enables organizations to become more productive. You are in a position when you have representation within your organizations to truly embrace the co-design of products and services that will then reach a broader market and audience, thus, you know, essentially improving your bottom line while really strengthening the organizational culture. And so from an employment perspective, I think there is a phenomenal opportunity for us to look at variations in our workplaces that not only support the integration of people with disabilities, but are beneficial to all. And I always use the analogy of universal design and accessibility, in that accessibility isn't just for people with disabilities, it's actually beneficial for each of us. And so when I think about my time as a parent with my wife, we have twin daughters, and we had a double stroller, and we couldn't get into any shop on our high street because there were steps going into those stores and single doors. So when you look at the consumer base and the disability consumer group as well, you know, if you haven't got steps into your store, if you've got oversized doors, then you've just increased the potential for folks to engage with your business and organization. And more so than that, when you look at the increasing technology and products and services that are now available in the market, there's a phenomenal opportunity for us to achieve significant economic returns while really supporting social inclusion. And when you look at technology such as Siri on an Apple iPhone, a lot of people don't realize that that was initially designed as an accessibility feature, but that is now incredibly beneficial for any one of us. So again, for me, accessibility is about innovation. It's about ensuring that individuals are provided with the accommodations and variations that they need to fully participate, but it has inherent value that is beneficial to everyone irrespective of your ability.